Okay. Alright, so this is episode 2 of Tea Thursdays. We have each written 2 note cards in there. Yeah, the original question was, Brian, how many times have you gotten money out of your mom's safe?
I don't know. More than like 10 times. But it's like she's told me to. Like for other purposes.
Okay,
not like I would steal it.
Favorite porn star?
Straight to the point.
Take a long second.
We're out of tea here. Well, next time, guys. Okay, I guess I'll just go first. So mine is Eva Lovia. She's a hot one. She's like, she's like, I think she's like Italian, French, and Japanese.
Yeah, but then she had like all her like plastic surgery and like ruined her life.
Before pre-plastic surgery.
See, that's key. I think she's like too pretty to be in the industry.
Yeah, but that's like the best part. It's like
that's like the worst part. Then you feel bad. Like,
you're
watching her.
No, until you watch your videos and you're like, oh yeah.
Oh, for the camera's reference, Brett's just casually scrolling through some porn.
Mine is Mia Khalifa.
Mia Khalifa. Yeah,
her rise to like the top was like
number 2.
so short,
yeah.
And then she just like dropped off the face of the planet afterwards.
Yeah.
She lives in Austin.
Yeah, she lives in Austin.
She lives in Austin.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All I know like is the Snapchat has like a story for her, and I'm like, okay, interesting.
It's kind of weird.
Well, I'll just say one I've watched before because I don't like watch one consistently or anything like that. To actually pick a favorite.
Ellen Harper. Yeah,
she's pretty good.
she's like the petite. She's a petite.
Wow, very specific.
Petite brunette. Her boobs like very
I'm
perky.
gonna get this out of my nose.
Does she have fake boobs?
I don't think so. Actually, wait, no, I know what you're talking about. I actually read.
They're like very perky.
You're like no. I actually read an article about like specifically her chest because it was like talking about how like she has a very like rare type of like breast composition where it's like it's not like an actual like like she doesn't like her boobs aren't like separated.
Yeah.
Oh, this is mine. But what is the most embarrassing thing you've done in a grocery store?
In a grocery store? Oh shit.
I can start off. So basically, I was at Welcome, the Asian supermarket, and you know how like they sell oranges in like a giant sack, basically, right? So I literally grabbed the sack, and then like it rips, and all the oranges just spill everywhere, and I'm like, fuck. And all these like Asian people are looking at me, and I'm like, oh, I guess like I should pick these up. So like I'm like casually just picking them back, and like throwing them in the bag, and, like I put the bag to the side and just grab another one and walk away.
Yeah. Once you like put all your like groceries in the trunk, and you know if you take your cart out to the car and they have like the designated cart area for you to push your cart into before you leave. Well, I always like to like if I'm like a far distance away, I'd like try and like shove the cart and try and make it into the little gap. So I think one time there was like. I was just like tired and I was like, you know, fuck it, I'm gonna just try and make it anyway. So I'm like a pretty good distance away. So imagine like to the corner of the room and like I'm sitting on the other corner of like this room right here. I just straight up just shove the cart and see if I can make it, and it's going, but then like all of a sudden it's like an unexpected bump on the ground that we did in the Calport. So then it hops on the bump and then immediately like angles the cart at a different direction, and it just runs against like the pole, the metal pole, and like 4 people see that. I'm like, this is like a year ago, and so I'm like a grown-ass adult, and I'm just like, oh shit. This one is like most embarrassing thing we've done in the past year. So it's not like related exactly to like the grocery store.
Most embarrassing thing.
The last like
this past year.
So basically like there's this thing in the business school where we have called Leadership Initiative Conference. I kind of mentioned the link where we basically bring in like really like high talent like seniors to come to Mace Business School and just like engage in like a 3-day camp type thing. Some of them have already accepted to come here, some of them are like still on the fence and deciding.
These are high schoolers, right?
High school seniors. So our friend Monica was like the president of it last year, and I've been like going to it every year to like be a part of the student panel to like answer questions, like represent the finance major or whatever, right? So usually like the kids like me, I don't know, like I guess I just impart like good advice or whatever. So a lot of them want to like get dinner with me afterwards. So like they provide dinner, and like Monica just sends me to a table to go sit at and talk to. And like all these kids are like asking me questions, and it's like having like a really good time. Like all of them are like super engaged, like we're all talking. Like I talk to every single one of them. They all like go through like their backgrounds and their stories and stuff. So I like don't know them well, but like, you know, I've met them, like I kind of know who like all of them are. There's only like 6 or 7 of them, right? But basically like I finish dinner and I go back. Stop laughing. So I finished dinner, I go back, I'm talking to like Monica and Sarah and Deb and all these people that are part of Link. And they're like, oh, how'd you like the kids this year? And I was like, oh, it's good, whatever. And then like one of the kids that like was at my table just like walks past me, and they start walking towards like the girls' restroom. But when I was talking to them, they like introduced themselves as like Chris, and like I don't know, they talk like I don't know, like they talk for predominantly like a male like kind of like upbringing. So they're just walking towards the girls' restroom. I was very like kind of confused. So like I don't know, for some reason I like just spontaneously shot out. I was like, yo, like that's the girls' restroom. I didn't say like, oh, like don't go in there. Like I didn't say anything like that. And then I was like, the guys' restroom is over there, right? And then like they didn't say anything. They didn't like look at me, but they just like turned and started walking towards like the guys' restroom and went in there. And then Monica was like, wait, and you like, what did you just do? And I was like, I just told Chris that was the wrong restroom. I didn't want them like I didn't want like a guy walking into like the girls' restroom and causing an issue. And then Sarah was like, dude, that's like Christine Yang or something. I was like, wait, what? And she's like, yeah, that's definitely like a girl. I was like, no, like I legit, like I just sat next to this person for like the last like hour and had dinner and like met this individual, like, and then they were like, no, like this is definitely like Christine Yang from like this high school, and like she like is definitely a female. I was like, well then why did she go to the guys' restroom? I was like so confused, and I was like, oh no, like I was like, why am I telling someone like which bathroom they can and can't use? And like at the time I was like feeling really bad, and then now I look back and I was like, if anything, I kind of just empowered them to go use the restroom they want to identify with. So like I don't know, like it kind of balances out, but yeah, pretty horrible part.
Oh my gosh.
But Sarah was like, dude, that's Christine, and I was like, wait, what? Because like they introduced themselves as Chris and like whatever. So yeah, I was like, I literally like took a knee. I was like, the knee, like that was like this is like the end of the year. Like you're so screwed. But yeah, they didn't like come back to me, like they like exited the bathroom. I turned and faced the wall, so I never and then they just went right back into like the dining hall. I was like, oh no.
I didn't do a lot of, I wouldn't say I did a lot of dumb shit in school. I was usually the one watching it go down. But basically in the back, this was 9th grade, and this is back in bio class, and basically this guy next to me, his name was Jose Zulamar, and he would always like dip in the back of class. He would just have a can, he would whip it out, start dipping, spit it into his bottle, and he would be like, don't tell anybody. And no one really knows this guy. He seemed like a new student or something, and but there's also another guy next to me who, well, I knew who he was just from previous grades, whatever, and he wasn't like the smartest. He got in trouble a lot, and one time he like whispered towards me, he's like, hey, you know, you can like report people and get $100 for if they find that they had like drug substance. And he's like, yeah, I know about it. You remember that number? I don't know, but it's anyway, so he convinced me after class to call the number and report this guy. And I was like, in my head, I was like, okay, we both get $50. That's pretty good. Just sure enough, one day they show up in class, like these people, and they take him out, and we never saw him for like a month and a half. And he comes back, he's in class, and like towards the end of class, he's like, so which one of you reported me?
Oh my gosh.
And
I'd be like scared.
the other guy, the guy whose idea was to report him, he just instantly piped up, and he was like, it was that kid. And this other kid, his name was Matthew or something like that, and he was just kind of a dorky guy.
Yeah.
And
Jose
follows behind Matthew after class, pushes him into like one of these doorways.
Oh my god.
And just starts beating the shit out
Dude,
of him.
what?
I'm not even kidding. Starts beating the shit out of him. And of course, kids are just all watching, and they like some teachers break it up in about like 30 seconds or something like that. And yeah, that kid ended up going to wherever he went, never saw him again after that. And
That's
Matthew, if you're watching this, I'm really sorry. Beat the shit out of you.
So the question is, what would you do if you walked in on your parents having sex? I'd probably just walk right back out. Like, I don't know.
I didn't say anything.
No, I'd just be like, all right, just like walk out the door and like close the door. I don't know. I mean, like, I know my parents are like very like traditionalists, so like I doubt that would ever happen. But like, if it were to happen, like, yeah, I'd probably just like walk out the door. Yeah, so
Yeah. I mean, I would probably like pause and I would give a look like, and then I would like turn around.
You would what?
Would any of that change if you were like close enough to be able to say something and they would hear you?
Well, like,
I think if I was like,
no, like, I mean, if I like open the door to their room and like I walk in and I would just close the door and be able to recognize what's happening and just leave.
I'd be like, Mom, Dad, what are you doing?
Yeah, if I was like 5.
Yeah, I know.
God, dude.
episode 2 of Tea Thursdays, and what a great question to end it with.
It was a banger.
A little banger. Alright, tune in for next Thursday. Yeah, next Thursday for Tea Thursdays.
Ciao. Oh shit.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Are you like cheering an empty glass?
Yeah, that's empty.
That's bad luck.
How'd you not?